apologize, guys. Working on some details. Okay, let's see. Still working out some details. There we go. Alright, so still fairly new to all this. I know I've got a couple of stuff that I've tried my best on. I'm still figuring things out, so I apologize if there's any hiccups or issues, especially quality issues right now. I'm doing my best to try and sort those out as I come across them. So, as you can see, I've got some characters already made. Some of these are from previous adventures. I do have some made, hopefully for this adventure. I'm not sure how anyone actually wants to watch me go through the process of character creation. So, at this point, because this game's not exactly a new game, they've got a new game. I'm looking forward to playing that one. I think I'll go ahead and do the intro. Most times, now, I'm not a big fan of the intro. I'll skip it this time. It's not really story relevant. There's a character who pops up. It's not really that important as far as I'm concerned. So anyways, the characters we're going with are a paladin, Deuteronomy. The other is going to be a cleric, Colin Sunburn. The next is going to be Griff Shursod, a ranger that's a spy, and Sival Storm, an academic wizard. Alright, so you can probably tell it's a full human team. Yeah, I just decided to go full human. I could have probably gone with any of the races, but it just seemed like the option to go with it this time. Kind of the idea is that it's humans who essentially all have a commonality to them. In some regard, at least they're trying to make it as obvious, they're trying to as simple as possible in that way. Paladin, cleric, ranger who's acting as a spy. So you already get kind of like a holy order almost going here. And then Sival, she is of course an academic, but she's also going to be the lore master. So again, it's kind of like the holy order sort of idea behind them. So, but that's kind of what we've got so far. Gonna go ahead and launch the game. All right, ready? Let's go. It pretty much goes this every time. I'm sure there's an option I could pick select to fucking turn this off, but I'm not too bothered by it. Now we just wait for the game to load. So while we're kind of getting the story going on here, I'm a person who's played video games for a long time. To say it's a hobby is an understatement. I do give myself time to do other things and grow and try and find other ways in which to entertain or develop myself. But I do enjoy playing a lot of games already. Some of my favorites are, of course, RPGs. We're actually going to move that to there, let him take advantage of the two-hand bonus for that being a versatile weapon, because he does have two-hand fighting style, if I remember correctly, or at least that's what we're going to go with, is the two-hand fighting style for the paladin. Longsword, pretty much where we're going to go with that. I feel like the paladins are beefy enough without a shield, but I'll at least use a javelin use a javelin at the very least. For as at least a semi-ranged option going on there. But yeah, we're going with a paladin. We're going to make him have it be proficient with two-hand weapons and all of that. Of course, we have our cleric, who is a cleric of the sun, under Arun, and of course, got the cleric spells. We went with burning hands, cure wounds, healing words, faith, and inflict wounds. So all the typical kind of priesty stuffs. And of course, the cantrips are sacred flame and a very, very holy sort of thing, but also she's going to be our support for our adventures here. I do need to equip her to be the support. There are items I can do that. There are items that I can use for that. I might switch this for a warhammer, which is a versatile weapon that allows both one-hand and two-hand usage, but it would also allow her to cast spells because it gives her a free hand to utilize that. So that's probably that's what I might look into. We'll see in that regard. But I do need to free up her offhand for spellcasting purposes in that regard. All right. Then we have the ranger. He's definitely going to be the definite ranged type predominantly. I may set him up to go in melee if need be, but for the most part he's going to be one of our backliners. These are going to be our frontliners here, and he's going to be one of our backliners. He's kind of like a mid-ranger, backliner, and then a backliner. It's kind of the setup I wanted to go with. Kind of have an idea of how I want these characters to set up. But as you can see, proficiencies, character, it's just a basic ranger for right now. There's nothing particularly special. We don't get that until like level 3. I'll probably go with hunter in regards to this. But they are a spy, which gives them certain benefits like use of what's it called? Thieving tools and stuff like that. I'll have to mention his proficiency with nature gives him usage of both the herbalism kit, and the what's it called? Potion. Is it potion making? No, it's poison making kit. For some reason, they differentiate the two. I guess to make it to simplify it, but it is what it is. Now, then after that, we have the wizard. This is our wizard Sival. I normally call my wizards Cullen, but originally when I was making these characters, I had the idea that this character was going to be a caster. I kind of shifted that up a little bit. He's still a support, but still going to be casting spells, but not a backliner like Sival here. And I needed someone who was more proficient with the spellcraft stuff, like Arcana and stuff and whatnot. So this is the character that I went with here. So you can see they already have stuff to craft with their spell crafting and whatnot. Oh, read that. Thank you. And these are you get little manual, like crafting manuals and stuff like that, and from your chosen strategist. Because she's an academic, she starts off with some spell books. This is just the general spellbook. This is what allows me to have the spells that I have for the character. Again, nothing special wizard, but it's going to be a lore master wizard at the end of the day. Of course, I have to have all these enchanter and whatnot with these proficiencies. Yeah, she's not very athletic. She is acrobatic. Take that for what you will. Being a lore master, she will be knowledgeable on things like religion and the history and arcana and nature. So she's going to be someone who's very intelligent in focusing on these things. The paladin and the priest will handle a lot of these right here. But as you can see, these are the spells I picked. Yes, detect magic and identify are spells you do have to take, and there will be items that you get in the game that look like just basic items, just vendor off. But unless you use detect magic on them to determine whether or not they are actually magical, that's where a lot of the issue. That's where some of the issue is going to be, because you could be passing up on like an important item or something that's very valuable, just because it doesn't look valuable. And this game very much plays off that. Identify does help to tell you what type of item that is. I have picked Burning Hands, Magic Missiles, and Shield. I did take Jump because that gives me access to certain things. I will probably get rid of this later for Fly. But I will pick these up into my full-time repertoire later on, because these are actually going to be useful. I just can't pick them right now because I don't have enough spell slots. Any more spell slots, which we'll be coming across here soon, I hope. Think of that, because we are going to get a level up before we leave here. This game doesn't actually start at level 1, it starts at level 2. And then you get level 3 not long after, so it's... And there are feats, bonus feats I can take also to not have issues with athletics later on, if I want to kind of make her a little more adventurous, if you will. So
this place is magnificent.
Before anyone asks, no, none of the NPCs here are accessible until after the initial opening of the game, where you talk to the council. So I'm gonna go talk to them first, and then everything else will open up from there.
I never thought I'd get so close to the embassies.
Look at the size of this council hall.
So this is what they spend our taxes on.
Look, is that...
The princess! Wait, is she leaving?
Apparently so.
Then who will administer the oath?
There's an oath keeper for that, I think.
You thought it would be the princess?
Doesn't she lead the council?
No. In this chamber, she's just another delegate. Lady Keene, the council's oath keeper, is trusted by all.
Lord Karen,
Yes, milady.
are these your new deputies?
They are, milady.
My name is Lyra Keene, Oath Keeper of the Council.
Quiet, everyone.
And I will be administering your vows. Once sworn in, you will carry the authority of the Council wherever you go. Your every action will reflect upon the Council's reputation. Remember that. Always. Now, please, raise your right hands. Do you, each and all, solemnly swear your lives and allegiance to this Council, and promise to carry forth our mission to protect our alliance from any who would threaten the common good?
I swear.
Excellent. Lord Karen will enter your name into the Council's register. Thank you for your service.
Congratulations, deputies.
Wait, that's it?
What were you expecting? A parade?
No, I don't know. It just feels a bit anticlimactic.
Sorry to disappoint. So, the mission. As I'm sure you know, the Council maintains a number of outposts to secure the border between the Principality and the Marches. One of them is the former Imperial Fortress, KLM. It's held by some 50 troops under the command of Captain Henrik. He sends us weekly status reports, or rather, he used to. We haven't heard a word from him in 3 weeks. Leave immediately for KLM and find out if anyone there is still alive. If Captain Henrik or anyone else is still breathing, bring him back. The Council wants a first-hand report.
So, if none of you are able to pronounce any of the words, any of the stuff that's here, don't blame yourselves. There are some names in here that are funky. In fact, there's some names in here that make sense as to why they got the name of them, because it's a rough translation from its original naming from previously. Because pretty much this world is a world that's a post-cataclysm sort of environment. Magic ran rampant. You had these new creatures, you had these new things come in. Humans were the things that came through the gate. Originally, this world used to be just elves and gnomes and halflings, elves and gnomes, the like and whatnot. And then humans came through during the cataclysm, and they were followed by these lizard people called Sorrows. I don't know too much about them. I know that they're the main they seem to be the main antagonist of this story, so we'll get to see more about that as the story progresses.
Wait, these marches, they're not in the Badlands, are they?
The Marches are a no man's land between the civilized world and the Badlands. It's outside the chain of mountains that really define the Badlands. We wouldn't send you in there. Yet.
Yeah, it sounds dangerous.
A whole garrison gone? There are only 4 of us.
Just find out what happened. Run back if you get scared.
Got it. Though we were hoping for a first mission with more riches than risk, if you catch my drift.
You don't get to choose your mission, I'm afraid. So, gather what you need and go. Time is of the essence.
Alright, well, let's go ahead and conduct our preparations and head out.
Right, I guess that's that. It's on to KLM.
Alright, so now we can start. Now the game truly starts. As you can see, there's a little arrow up there icon above everybody's head. Universal signal for saying, hey, you leveled up, go allocate your points and whatnot. In order to level up, you have to take a long rest. I have a feeling I'll be doing a lot of long rests in the game, and that'll be... But that's kind of par for course for RPGs like this. I'm not a huge fan of this kind of system. It's very much why I didn't get very far. I've never gotten very far in Baldur's Gate 3. I would love to play Baldur's Gate 3 more. I'll consider that later, perhaps. But when it comes to like the tabletop idea of taking a long rest to restore your resources and whatnot, to me that's a mechanic that makes sense for tabletop, because oftentimes when tabletop players do long rests, that's their time to kind of get up, grab drinks, or even have a pause in the story to call it for the session that day before they, in order to come back another time and continue their progress. So it makes sense from a tabletop perspective, not so much, to me at least, when it's digitized onto a computer standpoint, you know what I mean?
Hello, adventurers. What can I offer you?
Yeah, this was a running joke at the intro. It's part of the reason why I skipped the intro. It was a really goofy gag about the beer tasting like donkey piss. Their words, not mine, folks. Let me tell you what. But it's oftentimes why I skip the intro, because it's just like the intro is a glorified tutorial anyways, but that line of dialogue just has never sat well with me, so I don't really bother with playing through it in subsequent playthroughs.
We'd like to stay for the night.
Sure. Just walk up to the suite and settle in.
A suite?
It's more like a large bedroom, really. But you know, this is the capital city.
And there we have it. We've got our level up screen. We have our level up screen after the long rest. This is where you can prepare spells. It tells you what you recovered from taking a long rest. You can take shorter rests and use these hit die to replenish your health pools. Certain classes have higher hit die, so short rests are more beneficial for certain classes compared to others. But then again, also some classes just don't have as much health as most classes, so it's all kind of balanced around that idea. So I'll level up our paladin here, and as you can see, we're going to choose a fighting style at this point. So we also get Divine Smite, which is, I believe, a reaction. Yeah, it's a reaction thing where you can utilize your spell slot to deal 2d8 damage, radiant damage, and more or less it adds damage, and there's additions to it. It's like, you know, plus 1d8 per slot level above first level, and 1d8 plus 1d8 damage when hitting an undead or fiend. So let's say you're going up against something like a fiend or an undead. Your initial hit's going to be 2d8. So imagine you have d8s, dice, 8-sided dice. You're essentially getting 1, 2, 3. Let's say you're using a, let's say, level 2 spell slot. So you're getting 1, 2, 3, 4 d8 damage, and more or less whenever that's how much damage you'll do. And it shows all the dice rolls and stuff down here, which is really cool. I do like that about this game, and you can actually customize the dice depending on what it is you're rolling against. Like you can have certain types of dice for disadvantage, certain types of dice for criticals, for advantage, or like all this other stuff on here, and you can very much customize the experience as you see fit. A lot of reasons. There's a lot of reasons why I'm looking forward to the second, the Solasta 2 game that has come out. I really want to play that, but I want to finish this one before I go out and play that one. So we're going to go with Great Weapon Fighter. You could go Defense, which gives you a bonus AC. It's okay, but I feel like the Paladin has enough AC to begin with. You can go with Protector, which is a useful skill, believe it or not, for keeping your Paladin or whoever your protection character is near other units. It actually creates a higher disadvantage to your opponents being able to hit your party. So I mean, how you do this is kind of dependent upon what it is you're wanting to get out of your Paladin. I kind of want to do the two-handed, the Great Weapon fighting, which makes it to where you get you roll a 1 or 2 on a damage die and whatnot. It gives you beneficial effects. And it works over both two-hand weapons or versatile weapons for you to gain this benefit. So I have, like I said, I am tempted to do protection, but maybe I can eke out some extra protective abilities from the game. Hi Punch, how you doing, man? Let's see, but I'm actually rethinking this on whether or not I should go protection. This might be a good one to have, because I do have some squishies, though I don't know if my squishies are going to be here long enough, and I feel like if I kill them fast enough, it'll be better. So we'll go ahead and we'll go with the two-hand fighting. And we're going to level up our cleric, which is nice. You get your Channel Divinity, Channel Divinity Turn Undead, and then Channel Divinity Herald of the Sun, which causes you to engulf a visible enemy within 6 cells with radiant light, causing radiant damage plus 2 per cleric level, and cause the blinded condition for 1 minute. So both an offensive and defensive feature. It's really nice. And there's really nothing to choose at that point, because they kind of have their own stuff. The rogue, or in this case the ranger. I'm kind of using him as a rogue because of some of the benefits having a ranger on your team are, including not having to worry too much about running out of food rations whenever you're traveling, because that is a big issue on some of these situations, because you'll need to have rations to make it to certain spots, and sometimes you don't go directly to a spot. You have to spend time camping out and searching an area before you'll find the thing you're looking for, and then your party settles down into the location to deal with the encounters. And of course we have the fighting style. Rangers are kind of like a mix of druid and fighter in this, which is pretty traditional to begin with. I'm pretty sure I'm going to go with archery. It's what I went with last time with a character of mine. So we're probably going to go with, I'm thinking of go with archery. I might pick up 2-weapon fighting later, because I think you can pick up another fighting style later on. It's hard to remember, but definitely going to archery with this one. And here is the spell I was talking about, gooseberries. Yes, you can craft these things and it will count as rations for your party, so it's very nice. I also typically pick up animal friendship, because you'll actually run into animals during encounters and whatnot, and they can be useful. You could take Hunter's Mark. Gets an additional damage from you, and you can easily detect it for a limited time. This can be useful if you're running into a lot of stealth and whatnot. So, I mean, to me, either one of these is good. The question is, which one is better? Saving throw. So I'm not good with saving throw, so I'm going to pick the more guaranteed thing this time. Hunter's Mark will just be more useful to me. And then finally the wizard, which is where we're going to pick our specialization at this time with them. And of course we're going to go with the Law Master, which has the wonderful benefits of having advantage on Arcana, History, and Investigation, ability checks, scroll and potion crafting costs and times are halved, and you take advantage of to copy scrolls to your spellbook. So it's like a lot of things are cheaper, you're easier or faster in that regard, and that proficiency benefits you even further on. Like even this, you can learn additional cantrips, which is nice. That just means more time casting spells, less time trying to hit something with a staff and whatnot. So that's a nice benefit. And you can even get even more cantrips, and this one allows you to pick up cantrips from any class. So now you're actually you can pick up stuff like druid spells or warlock spells, and imagine a wizard using that one cantrip from the warlocks. It'd be great. It's really strong. So these are the cantrips I went with, of course. I want at least one ranged and one melee, because you can set up attacks of opportunity. Like an enemy will come into view, and then you can lob a spell at them, then going to lead them into a trap, more or less. We're going to pick up Comprehend Language. And I think Mage Armor. Yeah, I think those two are fine. I'm always trying to figure out what spells I need to pick up and do and whatnot, so And we're going to make sure we got the stuff we need for this. So we're going to... We're going to put up Detect Magic first. Comprehend Language will come in useful later. It's not super useful early on because, at least not that I can think of, because it has to be spoken word for it to translate. It's not like you can translate magically words on a piece of paper or something like that. So, and that's what you run into a lot is words on a piece of paper if you're going to translate something, which is why I have the proficiencies I do as far as language goes. We'll validate that. I think we've got to settle with that and see we got more hit die to replenish with later. Everyone's got more health. Good times all around. Let's double check our spells, make sure we've got good stuff. Okay. And of course you got Fairy Fire. Launch a radiant attack against an enemy and make them easy to hit. Wonderful. And then of course there's Bless. We're going to go more supportive in regards to benefiting our allies, and then throw out damaging hits and whatnot to enemies if we're going to do that. So I'm going to pick up some Bless here to benefit my allies for that. And then for the Paladin, got Heroism, Divine Favor, Cure Wound. Essentially a lay on hands in essence because it's a touch spell. Bless over here. We'll get rid of Bless there. And we're going to go with Divine Favor. And yes, you can pick up Detect Magic here and do identify over there. Kind of, you do whatever you feel like you need to. In that regard, I'm going to go with this kind of setup right now because these are going to be beneficial. I'll probably pick up these some of the things later. Stock up for our journey. We got to talk to this guy here and talk to the general store to pick up supplies.
Hello, how may I help you?
He is the magic shop. He is the purveyor of magical goods and items. He's actually the one I'm going to be looking at for my cleric to give them an item to use their divine spells as far as a focus is concerned.
What do you sell here?
Mostly potions for heroic adventurers like yourselves. I also have recipes for customers who like to craft their own. And ingredients too. Even rare flowers from the Badlands. Come back anytime. I'm almost always open.
There we go. So she does have the Holy Emblem. That should be good enough. I'm just kind of double check some stuff, see if there's anything better, or something that I'm more favorable towards in that regard. She does have the herbalism kit, so that's going to be useful. He has the poisoner's kit. She has the scroll kit, and he needs blacksmithing tools. Where are the blacksmithing tools? Because I know he sells. It's either him or the other vendor that sells the blacksmithing tools. And you can hit Alt to kind of check over some of the these. You'll pick up these throughout the game, so it's not really too big of a deal to grab one right now. The quarterstaff does act as a magical focus, so do I want to pick up something that is an arcane focus? Kind of. The question is, do I want to go with the wand or do I want to go with the orb? You know, for the sake of the meme, I will go with the orb. Our wizard shall ponder the orb. Okay. So, and if you don't want to talk to him again, you just want to go straight to the shop, you can click on the tent next to him, and it will take you directly to it, which is nice. Saves you a bit of time and clicks. Takes a lot of strain off you. One feature I do wish they had in the early one was the hold down move. They don't have it. I'm not even sure how you do select all. I'm sure there's a keybind for it, I just haven't seen it yet, but if you really want to select all your parties, kind of highlight them like that. That's one of the things I will say that I do like about Baldur's Gate 3 is being able to just hold down the mouse button to move.
Welcome to Gorim's Emporium.
And this is the general goods purveyor. She sells general items. I'm just going to go ahead and go to see her wares. Going to purchase the 4 rations that the quest wants me to purchase, and then go from there. Yes, this is what I was looking for. Now, I can't use a maul with her because it's a martial weapon, and she doesn't have martial weapon proficiencies. Can I get martial weapon proficiencies? Absolutely, and I'm positively hopeful to do so. Because being able to use a maul for this character will be a major boon to my overall ability to cast spells and whatnot. Because I'll show you whenever I'll get out of this screen here in a minute and show y'all the issue. Because I mean, yes, I have the holy symbol. But I'll also show you like what happens if you have something in your offhand. Alright. So we go over here, we click this, put it back in our hand. Go to spellcasting. And go to spellcasting for her. See, you can't cast any spells other than Healing Word, Fairy Fire, and light cantrip. All of these, no free hand to perform a somatic spell component. So you need a free hand to do this. If I go put her down to just this, bam, I now have a free hand to cast those things. So keep that in mind. Versatile weapons are your friend when it comes to this sort of stuff. If your character does cast spells and you aren't using a versatile weapon, it does leave you unable to utilize the whole kit of your class. So just kind of take that into consideration whenever you're doing stuff. Also take into consideration what the whether it's a concentration spell or a immediate spell. Like this is concentration, this is concentration, this is concentration. So I have 3 concentration spells. I can only have one of these active at any given time because it has to be maintained. So kind of pick and choose which one you're going to utilize for your benefit whenever you're playing the game. Move to your feet and instantly go into this because the scavengers need to.
Deputies? A word, if you please.
So famous already. I love it.
You were in there too. Are you a member of the council?
I'm Annie Bagmorder, quartermaster of the Scavengers Guild. We don't have a seat in there, but they all know exploring the Badlands without us would be a bad idea. That's why you should stop by our headquarters downtown. You'll need our services, I'm sure.
Is that compulsory?
No. But you'll find our services useful. Everyone does. Did Lord Karen not tell you?
No, he pretty much stuck to giving orders.
Oh, right. Anyway, we offer plenty of help and advice to beginners like you.
We are grown-ups, you know. At least most of us are.
Of course you are. Well, good luck.
Scavengers, eh? I never knew if they were legit or not.
I'd rather visit the temple, honestly. The scavengers. They've seen so much already. The first explorers of the ancient empire.
So what do you think? Should we check out their headquarters?
It's not far, but
I've had enough talking. Let's go kill some monsters.
if there's business to be done, we can't afford not to.
And off to the scavengers we go, because this is actually useful. This is probably one of the most useful features here, and I kind of wish Baldur's Gate would have had something similar, as far as Baldur's Gate 3 was concerned. These people go in, and they go actually pick up items from a mission area that you couldn't pick up or that you left behind, and they bring them back to town. They then will sell those items for you. Of course, you won't get the full value of the item when they do it, but a lot of times it's items you weren't going to be able to carry anyways. So what ends up happening is you get back, you allow them to sell it, you get part of that, and more or less you don't have to worry about leaving stuff behind because you just don't have the carry weight for it. It's a really nice feature. I wish more games like this would take that into consideration when they're utilizing systems like this.
Ah, you came.
You picked our curiosity. So, what exactly do you have to offer?
You don't know?
Don't scold me.
What kind of help do you offer to people like us?
Simple. Now, people like you typically carry out missions for the Council. In the Marches, even in the Badlands. Sometimes far away, like Captain Merrin.
Who's Captain Merrin?
You really must be new. She's one of yours. Senior Deputy of the Council. Anyway, you trek out to some old ruin in the Badlands, kill a bunch of orcs. Well, you're still a bit green, so let's say goblins.
Ouch! You're hurting our feelings.
Orcs will hurt much more than your feelings, believe me. And stop interrupting, it's rude. So let's say you find yourself with a whole load of rusty swords, leather armor, shields, too much for you to lug back here.
Oh, so we're puny as well as green. Thanks so much.
So instead, you brave heroes just clear the place of monsters and draw us a nice clean map. Then we take our carts and pick up every piece of junk. We bring it back, we sell it, and we split the profits with you. We move the stuff, you go off to kill more bad things. Everybody wins.
For a percentage, of course.
What? You could never carry it all anyway. Not in your little backpacks.
And she makes a very good point with that. So that's pretty much the system. It's great, and I'll kind of go over a little bit of this as well.
Well, thank you. I guess that's it for us.
Fine. Feel free to visit us any time. Or drop into any scavenger camp.
Are there others?
Anywhere we can settle. By the way, if you find Captain Henrik, tell him we're still interested.
In what?
In getting our people to Caerlem. The outpost is perfect for us. Close to the Badlands, with plenty of space for our camp.
Right. We'll tell him if we find him.
That would be appreciated. The more you do for us, the more we do for you.
Oh, so this business relationship can get better.
And I hope it will, friend.
I guess we'll see you around then.
Sure. Good luck out there. And don't forget, in the Badlands, always keep your eyes open.
Alrighty, so there we have it. So yeah, pretty much what happens, you'll go out into the world, do your missions and whatnot, and you'll come back here, and you'll click on this board here. That will pull up the missions that you've done and everything, and give you the and pull up the menu to grab the things if the scavengers have gone out there and completed their scavenging. Yeah, I know. It's pretty simple. You know what it does. Yeah, just take all that. You also have a party storage. You can store any items that you aren't going to be making use of in the near future. In here, this will allow you to have even more space to make use of. Honestly, I'm going to get rid of some of the things in my inventory here that I'm not going to make use of. I'm going to keep this because I have a feeling it's going to be important at some point. But yeah. There is also organize that. Crafting. Yeah, pretty much all these, because they don't really sell at the vendor. So it's like I don't want to run into a situation where we're going to have an issue with that. There we go. Yeah, I know the orb does not look like much of an orb, but you can ponder the orb. And of course you have crafting materials. You will need to get these rosaries in order to craft the craft with Arcana. It's essentially a form of enchanting. We'll try again. Okay, try again. Like I said, I have terrible rolls no matter how much I try. There we go, finally. And that's not unusual, is to have just really bad rolls. And honestly, unless you're on story mode, any mode that you have that, it will absolutely wreck you. If you're running into a bad roll streak, it will just take you out without a second thought. So, always save, always be ready. So I can't use smithing tools. It's not a huge deal for me. I've only ever found, the only smithing recipes I have found are, what's it called? God, why am I blanking on this? The only smithing recipes I've found are arrows and bolts, which, to be honest, you find so many of those, you're rarely going to ever need to really craft them if you ever actually need them. So I'm not too worried about that in that regard. That being said, I do want to grab those rosaries for her. Ooh, okay. So we're gonna have to make some gold to get those Kalan rosary, so we can actually perform stuff. So not terrible, not terrible. It's okay. So, as you can see, we have characters who are, like, they have decent ACs. You got a 15, a 16. Of course, the Ranger's a 14, and she is a 12. Like, that's not super great, but it's better than nothing. I actually ran a fighter team, all fighters on the team before, and it was actually really nice having pretty much every character in the party was close to 20 AC, or in some cases, a couple of them were 20 AC. Made it very difficult for enemies to do much to them. We'll see how this goes. Now, this is one of the things I was talking about. As you can see, this is a question mark. When you have an outpost like this, you're pretty much going to be searching for it. There's no way around this. So you click on here, you hit travel. You can do a normal travel, you can do a fast travel. It kind of depends on each one of these is kind of determines how likely you are to run into enemies on your way over there, and whether or not you'll be surprised by those enemies. But just keep those things in mind. I'm going to do a fast travel, try and get over there as soon as possible, so we're not spending too much time out in the wilds trying to find this place. And of course we have our first battle. Everyone's surprised. Being surprised is not actually a terrible thing, really. I've had worse situations where you actually have one person who's surprised and everyone else is asleep, and you have to wait for them to wake up. It's very annoying. Alright, they're not rolling great right now.
You're still in the fight, my friend.
Oh, they rolled really good there, and I don't like that. And yeah, I don't have a focus. That's fine. So we're going to disengage. Try and create some distance between us and that person there. Okay, so I'll do this. Spell casting. was hoping to use Burning Hands here, but that doesn't seem to be like the option here.
Arcana Evo! Armies!
And that did a chunky bit of damage. We're going to cast it. Oh, never mind. I'm going to turn on that. And he took an attack of opportunity. And
Not too bad.
because he made that mistake. Pass on that.
Eina, Evo, Viribe.
First, I didn't think about it, but yeah.
Arun Evo! Armies!
Yeah.
Once
that's what I
more,
was gonna do.
we prevail.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, that's fine too. I'm gonna take him out.
You never stood a chance.
Gonna move him over here just in case. Gonna give him the shocky.
Arcana Evo! Malmis!
Well struck.
And we'll slap it. So that when you're running into situations like this, it's not a big deal if you end up with a pretty low afterwards, because you will just regenerate it anyways. Ooh, I will take that great sword though. Absolutely, I will take that great sword. No, I don't want to take that. Right. And yes, encounters like this, you can leave the stuff around here. Excuse me. The reason you can do that is because scavengers will also pick up items from here as well. So, just some useful things to know. And that broke concentration because we're going to be going back to sleep and finishing our rest. Now here's the annoying part. It's a matter of whether or not you actually find the place. There you go. We found it, and we're going in. But yeah, you see how that worked. It's like, originally it was going to be just a single long rest, and it turned into 2 long rests before you arrived at your destination because you weren't quite sure how to get there. Which does make an air of sense, because like, you're new to the area, you don't know where some of this stuff is per
So that's
se,
KLM.
and sometimes instructions aren't.
We're almost there. It's just up the hill. It's a little too quiet, don't you think? We're in the marches, so quiet can't be trusted. True. Let's keep our eyes open.
So here, we're going to go up to this point here, and then we'll put everyone in stealth.
What's that
messed that up. I should have attacked sooner, and I could have gotten a drop on it, which means they all would have missed a turn. Potentially, they would have gotten surprised. So, something to keep in mind when you're doing this stuff. Ooh, we have lands, neutralize poisons, cure disease, find sense.
Ena, Evo, Viribe.
Pick a divine favor and then smash me.
I must
Or
do
we can
better.
miss because I'm bad. Because I'm bad. Cast power. Less.
Arun, Encho, Uribe.
There is also cover to take into consideration, so your positioning is important. Think of like the what's it called? And as you can see, that's bad cover because it's flanked by somebody. What's that game called? XCOM. XCOM is the game I'm thinking. Sorry, my brain is not functioning properly. XCOM is the game I am thinking of. But yeah, that essentially XCOM mechanics, just not with the actual terrible hit percentages.
Well done!
And we'll stick him in a corner like that, make it very difficult for anyone to do anything. And you can move multiple times, mind you. I do want to come here. I know it's been flanked by something, but I want to get over here.
Arcana, Evo, Malmis.
A palpable hit.
And then I'm going to move again. Good
You can
hit
take
there,
it.
but their weapons do crap for damage. It's still doing pretty good though, because you get consistent chip damage like that, and things aren't going to go your way very well.
You have them now.
But I will go ahead and take that smack smack. And I can move to here. Cast spell. Cantrips. I think I'm gonna move here. And if I was surrounded, I would definitely do that one. But I'm going to do this one instead.
Arun, Evo, Malmis.
Victory is yours.
Smack. Of course, he's going to come down here, hoping to do some big deep here. He has put himself in a very bad predicament, though. Yeah.
Arcana, Evo, Malmis.
Give him the shocky
A
hand.
victory fit for a song.
And I'm gonna move back over here for safety. He's trying to take advantage of that high ground. I am going to come back over here.
Ena, Evo, Puree.
I'm in your debt, my friend.
And I'm going to see about doing fiery hands on him.
Arun, Evo, Mummies. Arun,
We'll throw a
Evo,
healing hand on him.
Puree.
And then I'm going to run over here and take a spot here. And cannot target. Okay, cool. I can move over one and take a shot. Not very big.
Impressive move, my friend.
Was good enough.
Where did those goblins come from?
Some hole in the mountain, I guess.
And then we're gonna go collect our loot. Yeah, we'll re-grab some of these. Excellent. Come back up here and grab some stuff. And I'll re-divvy out the arrows back to my ranger afterwards. Put the arrows back on the ranger. Ooh. 2d6. It's actually not awful. Minimum 2 damage. Maximum 12 damage. Now keep in mind I can still do 1d10 with my current weapon, so it's still pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and read the rest of these manuals so that I'm not missing out on crafty stuff. Alright, we've already got that one. There we go. And then crafting, there you go. Like, she has better nature, but he has a 2 crafting bonus to it, so it's just more beneficial. Nobody has smithing tools. She has herbalism tools. She has a crafting bonus of herbalism. She has an arcana. Like, the mage has pretty much the proficiency for almost everything here. Nature, arcana, like, all of these are very beneficial benefits to all this. So, not to mention, with her being a lore master, she has increased benefits for scroll crafting and potion crafting. So, both of these are very amplified as a result. I suppose it'd be a good time to demonstrate the short rest availability. So My team's a little battered up, but nothing terrible, so we'll do a short rest here. Do a quick roll. And as you can see, doesn't necessarily replenish everything, but that's because I'm not playing classes that short rest will benefit that super well, like super well. At least not in the sense of like what I have available. My full fighter team, like short rests were my bread and butter of keeping alive because of the just because of how useful short rests were for them. Oh hey, look, there's a chest. Always be on the lookout for chests and whatnot. And little outcrows like that, because that means there's probably something over here. You just weren't there long enough to see it, or you didn't go over far enough to see it. So there's a side quest over here called Layer of Filth. The way in which you get to it is probably under that stone there.
You don't mind being on your knees, do you?
We're gonna go back though, because we're not interested in this quest yet. We'll come back for it though.
I have a bad feeling about this.
There's no one here. Not even corpses.
Look! That tower! That's insane! Amazing! Classic Tier Marian architecture. I read about that, you know. It just ended up here after the cataclysm. Incredible! Anyway, we have a mission. Let's check the fortifications.
We're going to push this here so we can give us better access up here. Again, I had fighters before, a group of 4 fighters.
I know kids who do that faster.
They had such good athletics, they literally just crawled the wall. Also, I think on one of the harder difficulties, you can only do dice rolls like that once. So I'm not a person who's going to play something just to play something for the sake of difficulty. I play something because I find it fun. Again, this is a pastime, it's my hobby. So, I'm always going to look at it from the perspective of, is it fun? And as you can see, my wizard is failing her athletics checks on the path over here. Is why she took her so long to hustle. She kept tripping at each jump. Another thing to not worry too much about is the fire effects on the ground. I know in Baldur's Gate 3 that would set you on fire. Here, the environment isn't as disastrously dangerous, comparatively speaking, which is a plus and a minus in the game's favor. Yeah, cool. It's not really. You don't have to worry about your team ending up in a fire pit that they shouldn't have been in.
There's definitely been fighting here.
Why did we take this job again? Oh yeah, these lovely council badges.
This is no time for jokes.
Right. Whoever did this could still be around, and we don't want them hearing us.
We should look for survivors. 50 people can't just vanish.
Did you see that?
Someone's hiding inside the tower.
It's a trap. The goblins killed everyone, and now it's our turn.
Or they're the survivors, and they're being cautious. We need to get up to that door.
If they slaughtered the garrison, they'll pay.
Back off! No closer!
Who's there?
We're not letting you in!
And we're not coming out!
Is Captain Henrik there? We need to talk to him.
Don't you dare speak his name, you filthy bastard!
Don't talk to them!
They'll cast a spell on you.
Don't touch me!
Is something not right in there, or is it just me? Let's get to the door. Maybe if they can see us up close, we can show them our council badges.
Now, this is kind of a cool thing. I am going to take a look at something though. So the javelin is a throwing weapon. Let's drop that all together. Okay. Alright. So we'll drop the shield all together because I want to be able to cast spells even from range. So let's see what we got. Revivify. Let's throw you through. So before I continue, spell list. Okay, so I can't learn it because it's on my spell list. That's fine. I'll still have. I can't cast either. Fine, I'll throw it on her. At least be useful. And you take that. Alright, so.
Wait, I'm seeing a trap.
I want him to trigger the trap. Use them, have them use caution.
Ah!
Okay, so sneaky around all around. So let's see here, cast spell. Yeah, we're gonna go with this.
Arun!
Range. Bless them to benefit their saving throws. Go from there. That's what I don't like about these things. They literally come in, hit, and then they leave because F you.
Arcana Evo! Malmy!
Not too bad.
Alright, celestial field and then tag. So I'm going to ready. There we go. Just like that. And that's why that's useful. Not a great roll.
You've seen worse.
Yeah, I don't like the fact that you're able to go in and out like that.
Arun, Evo,
Nobody has your skills. Bravo!
Stuff going on, we got a little one crying, so I definitely want to make sure that he's taken care of.
Arcana, Evo,
Impressive move, my friend.
We'll collect loot and everything else next time. Until then, I will see y'all again another time. Thank you for joining, for those who came. For those who come after, like, subscribe, enjoy. Y'all have a blessed day.